Hello, YouTube. It is
Whoa.
Filmaholics Entertainment Podcast. We are live on YouTube. I wish we had an Instagram. We could put live videos on Instagram. I don't think that's a thing, but I know it's a thing on Twitter. But hey, either way, the gentlemen, the boys are here today. The Butcher, Dirty Kevin, 1300. If you get that from the boys, that's my little character. We're also here today with Boo and Chef Voo.
I got Stella Artois. Shout out Belgium.
Oh, yeah.
#1 listener.
Yeah, dude. Shout out, dude. I got
also the beer of the bear.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, before every advertisement it is. Yeah.
Yep.
God, look at me. I'm so on top of stuff. I knew that totally. Yeah.
Hey, boys. How we doing? Welcome back. It's been 2 weeks, and I think we're all happy and just glad to be back here together with each other, wouldn't you say?
Glad
miss
to be
the
back.
boys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We miss the boys. My Navy Federal Credit Union in the background ad. Wolverine and Deadpool ad. All right. Hell yeah. But again, this is episode 38. We got a lot of news here today. I mean, we've been gone for 2 weeks. So there's a lot to catch up on. We got a lot of modern day, but there's been things like Marvel's back. Marvel's back at Comic-Con for the first time since 2021, I think, when they actually they announced Blade in 2019. So, okay, that was but I think it's the first time since 2019 that they have been back at Comic-Con. So that's a big deal. We're also rumors going around in the movie universe, especially pertaining to Chris Pratt potentially joining the DCU and James Gunn again. And then we also as well got the debut of the Bear and much, much more. So, gentlemen, tell me how everything's been going for you guys, and give us, just tell it since it's been so long. I want to hear how everybody's been.
Hey, life is good. Just moved in my new place, so I was glad in a way we didn't record, so I could set up the new place.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to be back.
Looking
I got
good.
internet. Thank you. And content season is hot. I can barely keep up with all the stuff coming out, but
Yeah.
it's a good time to be alive.
Yeah. What are you currently watching, Brad, or attempting to watch right now?
Currently watching slowly The Bear.
Yeah.
Attempting to watch The Boys from season 1.
Love it.
And then honestly, I've been watching a lot of soccer.
No,
Big
that's
time
really
for
fun.
soccer.
And then the Olympics is coming up too.
Big
Oh
time for
yeah.
sport.
For those who are huge
Yep.
fans. So yeah. At least
Also, I
you
finished Invincible season 2, part 2.
You did. Oh, good. I can't wait to hear about that, man. I'm
So yeah,
glad.
life is
Nice.
good. Things are going. What
When
about
I
you,
feel
It's
Boo?
been busy.
Yeah, how you doing, Boo?
Pretty much the same. Just busy trying to keep up on content, trying to get
Yeah.
outside. It's nice out, hanging out with people, doing the huge. So just trying to watch as much as I can because there is a lot of content out there, like Brad said. So
And we kind of knew it too, but it is really hitting us like a train right now, huh?
yeah.
And Boo,
Yeah.
you've been kicking ass watching the movies.
I'm trying every week, I'm trying to watch something that we talked about during the pod that I haven't seen before. So
I do too. Yeah, I tried it too. Yeah. That's good to hear, man. That's good to hear. I think it's getting. This is a crazy month, and with July 4th, literally 2 days, July 3rd. I don't know. I celebrate July 3rd honestly too myself, but we got a lot going on. And then my birthday is later this month. I have to travel 2 weeks in a row for work. It's gonna be really
Yeesh.
fun. Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to St. Louis and then down to Houston, but I wish I was doing something else. But we'll see. So
Houston in the summer, that's gonna be a rough one.
yeah, my God, dude. And then I'm not even near the water, so it's just gonna be heat on concrete. It'll be me melting the entire time. But yeah, that's why we're gonna try. I just want to try to put as many episodes as we can into this, and if anything, I can maybe do something from the hotel if I'm not like meeting with clients or something. So, because that is my day
Just
job.
podcast while meeting with clients. Bring them on the pod.
Yeah, bring 'em on. What do you think? What do you like? Oh, I like that Yellowstone movie. But yeah, good. Well, hey, I mean, it's good to have you guys back. I say let's just jump into everything and let's try to take advantage of the daylight we got here today. So Alex Vu luckily set up this news episode here today, and we've got, of course, like I said, we've got a lot of reactions. I mean, we're in the middle of House of the Dragon. You didn't say that either, but we are all three watching
true.
House of the Dragon weekly. So
It's a given.
Yeah,
right. So we're gonna have to discuss, I'd say, last week and this week's episode at some point during the episode. But like I said, we got a lot going on, so let's just dive into everything. I mean, and maybe the biggest hit of the summer And you know what, Brad, we might as well just give our review as well with this, I would say. But I'll share my screen here for those who are going to check it out on YouTube. But Inside Out 2 has now crossed the sacred $1 billion marker internationally. So the article says Inside Out 2 is now the 4th biggest animated film of all time at the domestic box office. You know, they were talking about, I guess it's behind. So it overtook Frozen 2 to become the 4th biggest animated film in domestic box office history. I think we all kind of knew this was going to make a ton of money, but I love seeing that it is finally doing this. I mean, Inside Out now trails only Finding Dory, the Super Mario Brothers movie, and Incredibles 2.
Those are the 3 most random ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Well, I guess, you know, people, it's kind of sad that that's what it is, I guess, but it's just reality. People weren't really watching, or a lot of movies weren't making $1 billion in 2003, 2004 when Finding Nemo came out, or Incredibles 1 came out. Did you guys see Finding Dory or Incredibles 2?
I did see Incredibles 2 in theaters. I was part of that billion.
You're probably
I was part of the Finding Dory billion, and I was disappointed.
I was kind of disappointed too in Finding Dory. I liked it. I liked Incredibles 2. But yeah, no, it's just kind of crazy to see. I mean, I guess myself, I wanted to give a quick review, and I like this idea here. And Vu, if you don't want to listen, maybe you can mute us or go away for like a minute or two. But we can try not to spoil. But Inside Out 2,
go for it.
I think it's warranted its success. Wouldn't you agree, Brad? And Brad, I'd love
completely
to
agree.
Take over this review first, because I unfortunately was a little inebriated during my review, and I just think that Brad would give it more justice. But I did like the movie. It's just the first 45 minutes of it, I started having a panic attack, and that's not because of the movie. I can't believe it. I'm watching a movie about anxiety, and I'm having anxiety. I was actually watching. I was dealing with my anxiety as the movie went along. Maybe that's why. But yeah, Brad, what'd you think, man?
Yeah, I think well deserved, especially because it's just a solid sequel. It brings back all the great characters that we loved from the first one and introduce some awesome new emotions. Mm-hmm. Especially, you know, anxiety obviously plays the main role. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean,
I like how they did anxiety. I do want to say it wasn't like she was kind of a villain, but at the same time, she was just like a realistic version of what anxiety really is in the body, which which I liked.
As someone who ascribes to existential theory in his counseling studies.
Oh, hell yeah.
Anxiety is like a healthy thing. Like, it's good for the body. It's normal. It's not anything bad. And I think this was done perfectly to show when anxiety gets out of hand and maybe is running the show and not being in check. So without going too into detail and too many spoilers, I mean, you know, that's essentially the story. Like, there's no true villain, but it's just someone who's trying to do good that is maybe a little out of place. And I just thought it was a really beautiful story. I think it was a quick story. Like, it happens over a weekend, I think, in terms of like the actual.
It's a little different. Yeah, she goes to this isn't spoiled, but she's going to a summer camp. Whereas the original movie, she was moving across country, correct? Yep.
And I believe it was the ending that did make me cry. So that's when you know it's a good movie. It's Inside Out 2. It's Gran Turismo, the two heavy hitters of the last year. So
yeah, Gran Turismo and Inside Out 2.
I wish Vu heard that.
I mean, Brad, what do you give it as like a rating for yourself out of 10? Or do you like doing a 5 scale or a 100 scale, whatever you like to do?
Yeah, I like to change my scale all the time, but I think I would give it. I'm going to give the original 10 out of 10. I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10.
That's a great score for it. Okay, definitely. Yeah, and like I said, I did like the movie at the end. I remember thinking to myself, like, they did do a good job of doing a sequel. I didn't expect them to do this, and I think the only thing that did bother me the first 45 minutes was that it seemed like they weren't trying to save Riley. They were almost trying to save themselves, which was different to me than maybe the first one. And I guess not necessarily they weren't trying to save themselves in the first one, but I just remember it was like the idea of, we got to save Riley. We got to save her from these things that are happening to her, and the person she's becoming. And it's very similar in the second one. Yes, I just again I told Brad and I told Vu I need to rewatch the movie itself, and maybe I'll see it from a different light this time. It was so funny. I texted Lindsay as I was going through my existential crisis. I texted her. I said, I'm sitting in this movie theater wearing my Disney shirt, sitting by myself, watching a Pixar movie. Like, how weird did I look? I'm sure I looked like a creep with my Dune popcorn bucket.
You with the
yeah, I think it's good to see that this movie hit $1 billion. I feel like the entire movie box office is kind of taking a rebound after starting off a little slower with Fall Guy. I think it's this past weekend, A Quiet Place Day 1 actually debuted to $54 million, the highest out of any of the three, the biggest debut they've all of them have had. So I love seeing that. We can talk about that a little bit more later, but I just feel like with that going on, we also saw, was there another movie we've seen in the last couple of weeks or in June that Bad Boys 4 actually had a really good number as well. That was maybe the surprise hit of the summer, apparently. So and I liked it. I saw Bad Boys 4 and I actually really enjoyed it. I don't know if I talked about it, but it's cool to see Will Smith as a star. I think we did talk about it because we were talking about how we admitted him from the top actors, which I think is a crime that we did that. So hopefully we can do it again someday. But cool, man. Well, thank you.
I mean, more sequels are going to happen now because
yes,
lots of money.
Yeah, you did point that out. When you're making $1 billion in 13 days, yeah, you're going to get a couple more. You're going to get a couple more sequels. We're going to be getting Ratatouille
Inside Out 7.
Inside Out, yeah. Yeah, we're going to be getting a lot of Pixar sequels. So, I mean, again, I didn't hate Incredibles 2. I didn't like Finding Nemo or Dory as much as Finding Nemo, but they could fix the whole Finding Nemo series for me with a good movie for the third one. So
exactly.
Cool. Vu, anything you want to add to this, man? I know you've been kind of listening in.
No, I guess if you guys found out or were told in the beginning of the year that this would be the first $1 billion movie of the year, how shocked would you have been? Or is this something that you
beginning
expected?
of the year? Pretty shocked. I think I would have been shocked. Yeah, I thought after the writer's strike, it would have been people trying to go back to it. But now when you're part of June, February with inflation, I feel like people are kind of saving their bucks. As I'm in it, it makes sense. But if you told me December 31st, Fall Guy would have been a flop. The Planet of the Apes movie wasn't going to make as much as the third one. Continue. I probably would have been. Honestly, I think almost everything has surprised me about this movie season except for this. I did think this was going to make $1 billion. So
nice.
Yeah, that's a good question.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, hey, great start to this episode here. Let's move on to our next topic. The Bear is Hulu's biggest premiere of all time. I mean, Vu, you're the one who's been all caught up on this. I know you don't want to spoil it, but at the same time, I think we all can kind of come up with our own judgment of the show. I myself, through 4 episodes, am loving it. I think it is a great show. I'm loving this season so far. I think, of course, they overact. I think it's also there wasn't a lot of story going on for the first few episodes, but now we're getting a little more of it. So, I mean, Brad, what did you think of the so far of The Bear?
Through episode 1, and I liked the first episode, just like artsy and just shows you the love that the creators of the show have for food and fine dining. So yeah, I thought it was a cool start. I am curious to see more of the story, but it was cool. You got to see the come up of Carmy, his backstory through the world of chef training, learning. I don't know, but yeah, it was cool. I'm excited, and
I will say episode 1 might be like the most artistic episode I've ever seen in television. Like just the way it was shot.
Yeah.
Like it.
I'm a little nervous about Vu's review. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. I mean, I think the cameos are cool. Like there's real chefs in the show. Like you see Daniel Boulud in the first episode. You see the owner of Noma. You see Thomas Keller. Like cameos didn't miss. I think this season was very well shot. The artistic value was 10 out of 10 phenomenal.
Yeah.
I love the Bear, but I honestly I think this season didn't really add to the story for me. Like
Okay.
it was very slow moving. And I'm curious to know what you guys think after you guys watch it, but it didn't really progress much after like how much it progressed in season 2. To me, season 2, you expanded on all the characters. Like there's so many arcs, different arcs.
Yeah.
You get more backstories on everybody. But here, it seems like they kind of took a step back to me.
Maybe more. Maybe trying to win not an Oscar, but I mean they already won all the Emmys in season 2.
Yeah. Yep.
I guess I wonder if they already have signed on for season 4. Maybe
Yep,
maybe that's why you personally thought that.
Yes, because season 3 and 4 were shot simultaneously. So
Okay, interesting, and that's not a wrong take at all. I think that's good that we have an outside perspective like that. I think so far I'm a little bit like, it does feel different than season 1 and season 2 for sure. It has its own distinct feeling to it and energy, I would say.
Yep.
And like I said, I'm only on episode 4. I really like it so far. I want to keep watching and binging.
Yeah.
But we watch it so late because I'm doing things and freaking I'm just busy. I mean, Brad, what do you want to say?
Yeah, I'll say that something I've noticed a lack of is like I don't hear or see a lot on all my algorithms, my social medias, the websites I go to. Like I'm not really. I think a lot of it's House of the Dragons is overshadowing it.
Could be
Because
that
House of the Dragons has that week after week, and people have that continued emphasis and talking, whereas this just like dumped, and we get situations like this where one guy's finished it all, one guy's 30% through, and one guy just started.
Yep.
So how are we supposed to talk about it?
Yeah.
Vu can't even talk about it with us because
we're losers.
We're losers. And it's so funny to me
you
too.
You guys have lives.
yeah, I guess. I don't know.
No,
Not really.
You'd be so wrong.
yeah, you would think. Wait till you see me in Cabo, Vu. You'll see how big of a loser I am. But yeah, no, I think that's one of the big problems with it too, is the fact it was all released. I think Hulu is advertising the crowd. You go on Hulu, you can't see anything not Bear related on there, right? Disney Plus, same thing. I feel like. I wonder if I don't know. I don't want to hate on it because I really like it. I'm trying to understand where.
And I'm not saying like it's a horrible season. Like don't watch it. Like I hated it.
Would you give it a positive score?
I would give it a positive score. It's just that season 2 in my mind was like such good work, and it was so fantastic that I think no matter what, it would have been hard to top that.
Yeah.
So. That's what I kind of went in expecting is season 2 quality, and
you're not wrong.
Season 3 is a little it's different. Not to say that there's not episodes that are like great, but overall, it just felt like really artsy emphasis. So,
did you think, and maybe it is more of a love story? I mean, season 1 was a love story essentially to. Gosh, it's so different. This does seem like a love story to high fine dining chefing. Did you get that vibe when I'm like it's like a tribute to it? Whereas season 2 is this growth of a story. Almost seems like it's a tribute to this stage of their life, maybe a little bit more. But I haven't finished yet. Who knows?
Yep.
Highly stressful.
That's one thing that the Bear can do perfectly is give you that sense of anxiety.
Yeah, what it must be like in a kitchen. Have any of us worked in a kitchen before?
I have not.
Ooh, Wolverine's naked behind me. Sick. Oh, not bad. Our next Wolverine better be naked like that a lot. Okay. No, sorry. Bring it back to the Bear. Anyone here working like a restaurant or anything? Yeah, I worked at Ruby Tuesdays. I was so bad.
Shout out Ruby Tuesday.
That was my dad's like one of his favorite franchises when it was still alive.
Yeah, dude, it was sick. Unfortunately, I wasn't good. I never knew any of the specials. God, if they did a changing lineup like they did in this season, I'd be going crazy. We don't want to spoil too much. I think we can discuss this even further next week. But again, there's a lot of success with the Bear for Hulu. I think this is one of the trademark shows for sure. I don't even know. Is this even released on FX? I think it is just Hulu.
I think it's just Hulu too.
I think they're going to release it on FX later on. But you know what's funny? FX, home of the Bear, home of Dave, home of some of the American Horror Story, some of the greatest shows, and they're also home of like what is that
Rogan?
one? What is the Joe Rogan show where he used to make everyone do like
Fear Factor?
Fear Factor. Then there's Fear Factor. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, I love Fear Factor.
yeah, high bar, and then there's Fear Factor. So
Hulu
cool.
knows TV.
Yeah, Hulu does know what the people want. Cool, man. A next topic I wanted to go through was something that just came out today. Chris Pratt leaving Marvel for James Gunn's DCU. So I don't know how this is going to work because I think he's trying to do both of them, but they did see Star-Lord is going to return at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 3. He had returned home It's starting to make me think he may just be doing one cameo in Secret Wars, and then I think he's done. I think he wants to stick with James Gunn, stick to it, but I'll show the screen here as well. So this article goes into it saying that after visiting his friend James Gunn, the architect of the DCU on the set of Superman Legacy, Chris Pratt shared his thoughts on joining the franchise in the future. Yes, of course, Pratt said when asked if he would consider joining the DCU. If it could fit in my schedule and if it made sense, I would love it. I just have to leave that to the fans and people like James Gunn to decide. So, of course, he headlined the MCU with his role as Star-Lord in the Guardians of the Galaxy. Gunn served as a director in those films. I think he even says he loved playing Star-Lord and hopefully there's a chance he can come back. But I think at the same time, when you're at the end of a story like Star-Lord, I think Chris Pratt, one, likes making money, two, being a part of this, being a part of something with one of his good friends, James Gunn, who is leading an entire series now. I mean, who wouldn't want to jump on board like that? I guess, I guess James Gunn even says that he says this. He goes, "That's many years away. I think we have to establish what we're doing at DC first. And it would be lying to say that we haven't discussed it, but all the discussions we have been very light and fun. We have hundreds of roles to cast, as I've always done. Some will be brand new faces, some will be actors I've worked with before, and some will be actors who I've never worked with. What matters the most is the actor fits the role, and they're easy to work with." Chris Pratt as a clear leading man can succeed. Number one movie of the year, one of the top movies of the year, which has tripled its budget production, is Garfield. Made $1.3 billion on Super Mario movie. Led the Guardians of the Galaxy. Tell me, if I were a betting man, I wouldn't bet against Chris Pratt.
He's a hot name in Hollywood.
Yeah, for sure. Vu, do you like this idea? Brad as well. Do you guys like this idea of him potentially moving from MCU to DCU?
Yeah, I love it. I think for his role in the MCU, it's kind of ending anyways, right?
Right.
The Guardians is coming to an end. It wouldn't feel right for him to helm a new team, because at the end of Guardians 3, we already saw the new team form.
Yeah.
So I think it's time to hang it up in a sense.
Okay.
Would love to see a cameo in Secret Wars, obviously.
Right.
But yeah, if he can flourish in the DCU, then I'm all for it.
Brad, you were about to say something?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just interested because now we're getting to a point where the DCU is ramping up, and how many actors and actresses are going to be reused to do another superhero, but just a different franchise, and
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I'm conflicted. It's I want them to stay with their lane, and that's special, but then they're also great actors, so if there's a spot for them. But it's just going to be weird of oh, is that the Flash? Oh, it's Chris Pratt. It's Chris Pratt as the Flash.
Ezra Miller will always be my Flash.
Okay.
I know what you're saying, Brad. I know what you're saying. I think for me, you can't have Chris Pratt come in as a Star-Lord-esque character. He has to be completely different.
Yeah.
For me personally, I'd like to see him maybe be a Batman. Is that bad to say? Because the characters are so different. You have to be a little more serious. You have to be kind of a douche in a way. You're a billionaire essentially.
What about
an aristocrat? He could be a villain.
I could totally, yeah. I could
Who
totally
missed-
see him being a Batman.
Does anyone here miss the days of when he was kind of like an Andy character from Parks and Rec? A little more like we don't take him as serious, maybe.
He needs to put on a little more weight, a little more fat.
Yeah.
And he'll be right back.
You know what I mean? And I've probably heard behind the scenes he's a very lovable character. I mean, just who he is, his personality is just a good person, good human being. So, you know, I guess for me, you know, I would like to see him. I do want to see him as a role, but I don't want him to be. Maybe I'm not like Brad, but I don't want to see him as somebody who just comes in for kind of a cameo character who gets killed off, or is in there for like a second and then he's out. I'd like Chris Pratt to be a part of this. I guess I don't know, because Chris Pratt, when he joined the MCU, yes, he was a big character in it, but he wasn't the Chris Hemsworth. He wasn't an Avenger technically. You know what I mean? And those guys ran the MCU. He fought with the Avengers, but
I want like tell me if I'm wrong, but like Chris Pratt was made. Chris Pratt is Chris Pratt because of his Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Like
for sure. So, the movie he was in before was Zero Dark 30, but it wasn't like a huge character in it.
So like I want a different actor or actress to become a thing because of their roles in this. Like give me some.
You want this role to create a new breakout actor or actress then?
Yeah. Don't reuse old people.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Like Tony Stark with Downey Jr. Like a lot of these people were made and are now like huge because of their roles in the MCU. So like I want to make some careers with the DC universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong by thinking that.
Remember back in the day when like all those MCU heroes were like not A-list actors?
You're so right. No, you're so right, dude. Yeah. I think we need to do a DCU. We already have a Superman. But even if someone here is like, not my Superman, I want this guy. I think we need to do what we did with the X-Men, but for the DC. I think that'd be kind of fun.
Oh.
Mr. Elodie.
But I do think you do need some guys to be the base, like to bring you here. I guess like I like that Ben. It's too bad Ben Affleck never works because I think he's a perfect Batman.
Yeah.
For me, and I think he's a really good actor. You know what I'm saying? I guess you need somebody like that, but not everyone. Not everyone.
What age would be your preferred Batman in the new DC universe?
Rumored he's supposed to be older, so we're gonna get a Nightwing. That's what they're trying to lead up to.
Okay.
So
we'll get into this, but I really liked Robert Pattinson's Batman. I thought that was
I know. I really
portrayal.
Yeah.
I really do hope that they don't change and that Matt Reeves, who is the director of it, buys in and just lets him become it, but maybe not. Who knows? I don't know. Okay, let's see if we're Chris Pratt. If you had to pick somebody who a lot of characters want him as Booster Gold. I don't know who Booster Gold is, but that's what a lot of people want Chris Pratt to be. Is there any character you'd like to see Chris Pratt as if you join the DCU?
Oh, now that I'm looking at Booster Gold, I could see that. I think a Green Lantern could be cool.
I was literally just about to say that.
Yeah.
But
Green Lantern is the big, like, someone needs to fix that.
But that's me thinking, like, bring in the Star-Lord-esque personality and attitude because that would fit well with the Green Lantern. But you brought up a good point of like
Gold too.
Okay. Yeah, but I don't know if I want him to play the same thing and like have the same energy.
I mean, apparently Booster Gold's character is somebody who was a huge loser who went to the future, got a time machine somehow, got all these powers, then went to the past and was like, "Hey, look at me, I'm really cool now." And he's a huge douche, essentially.
That would be pretty funny.
Yeah, so it's more.
Is that a villain or a hero?
He's a hero, but he's overconfident in the face of insurmountable odds. Certainly tracks with Pratt's most famous hero. See, that's the thing; it's just very similar. I don't know if I want it, but I'm also. Do you guys agree? Are you guys a little tired of Chris Pratt always being the superhero, like the main leading guy, like the tough guy? I don't know if you guys saw the Amazon movie he was in, where he was like the I forgot what it's called. Here, let's pull up his. Do you guys get that? Like, do you have that fatigue with him at all? Or are you guys not really thinking, oh, he was in Mario's and he was in Garfield? I don't really get it. Like Jurassic World, he was the main guy. He was like the savior of Jurassic World. Hated that movie. Looking back on it. In the series,
was he good in that series?
It definitely added to his aura. I mean, he was one of the better characters, but the stories weren't good. He was a good character.
Okay. Yeah. I guess I haven't really seen any of his other like live action films.
He was good in Lego Movie. I thought that was good. Fantastic, actually, in Lego Movie. I don't know.
We
Maybe
just need to talk about the
Good.
Lego Movie.
yeah.
Good voice actor.
Yeah, Magnificent Seven. He was in that movie. Have you guys seen that one?
Yeah.
Moneyball.
Oh, I forget he's in Moneyball.
He's the first baseman who's got the
Yep.
yips.
Yep.
Passengers, bad movie. The Tomorrow War. I don't know if any of you guys saw that. And then he's in other things where he's like he's like an Amazon show, but I don't know.
His live action, I guess, hasn't been as hot as other than Guardians.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Maybe this is the reboot he needs.
Yeah. Maybe it is, but at the same time, I don't think you're wrong for not wanting him to be like a main character.
Yeah.
To myself. So I don't know. Maybe just take his seriousness down. I don't want to take him so seriously. I still think of him as Andy. Like I think that is his most perfect role for him when he was during the time, maybe. But
back in the fat days.
So all right, let us know what you guys all think in the comments below. I know we get about 1,000 comments per episode. So do you want Fat Pratt back? Let us know. And then the last main topic for Let Me Talk to You is that Marvel is returning to Hall H at Comic-Con. So, gentlemen, you guys all knew that I went to Comic-Con last year because of the writer's strike. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see anything MCU, DCU related. I got to see something related to The Boys and then a couple things related to like the Spider-Man video game, but it wasn't like what it used to be. And do you guys know how big and how influential Comic-Con is to essentially the DCU and MCU prior to 2019?
Oh, it's huge.
Oh, Brad has no idea.
I don't really know much. No, is that the hype train starts?
That's where it starts. That's where the announcements come. That's where you saw where they announced Avengers by having every single actor that was going to be in the movie that was not even announced yet come on the stage one by one and announce who their characters are going to be.
Whoa.
And the crowd going crazy. That's where they debuted Superman versus Batman or Batman versus Superman with nobody expecting that to come out after Man of Steel like it did. You know, that's where they announced Man of Steel. For the longest time, for the last 15 years, if you had a movie that was in the comic book universe, it was announced there. Just because that was the reaction. I mean, the hall itself, if I had photos, I'd show you guys. It can fit 20,000 people in there. Probably 10,000 to 15,000. A lot of people, man, and it's loud. You know, people wait for days. They stand in line for days to get seats in this hall, waiting to get in for that Saturday. It's insane. It's just one of those things where you want to be a part of it. I tried to be. Hopefully, I can be a part of it someday. So, you know, especially with the MCU right now, kind of going through a little bit of a little shit streak, you could say, prior to Deadpool versus Wolverine. I mean, one of my best friends, my best buddy, Max Zwock, huge fan. Sorry, I just outed him. But he told me, he says he's not really. He said he's more excited for Venom 2 compared to Deadpool versus Wolverine because he's just tired of the whole Deadpool shtick. He's tired of what my MCU is doing. At least the Venom is so different from the MCU. And I think he's not the only one that thinks that, though. You know what I mean? I mean, after all the drama we had, after the Kang drama, after everything we had come out from that article we ran through together.
But
you know, like
different.
Exactly, right? I know. I think he's just fed up with MCU right now. I mean, Vu, how do you feel, man?
Yeah,
I mean, you're a little more positive, I think.
Yeah, this Deadpool Wolverine movie is big. Like, it needs to hit on all cylinders, and from everything, all the spoiler pages that I've read, it does hit on all cylinders.
I have too, yeah. So, it sounds like it's going to be pretty amazing.
Yeah, like, this movie is probably going to be too big to fail in my eyes.
And
it can't fail.
I'm also hearing this is what Secret Wars is going to be very similar to. And this is going to be, we are on the runway to Secret Wars with this movie. So it's beginning that. And this is an article by Screen Rant. I mean, what can we expect from Marvel at Comic-Con 2024? So the rumor is going on is that they're going to be going and focusing on movies for the MCU at Comic-Con 2024, and then they're going to do a Disney-specific show for the TV shows. But
what's the Comic-Con date?
It is going to be the Saturday, July 27th.
Okay.
Yeah. but yeah, I mean, they're expecting that given the film comes out the day before, they're expecting that, it wouldn't be shocking if Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman were to show up in some capacity to represent Deadpool and Wolverine. There also is a rumor going on that because they're expecting to announce, or apparently Fantastic Four is being shown all over San Diego right now. So there's ads for it. There's like little banners showing the characters in cartoon form. So they're going to be doing a lot of Fantastic Four. They're going to probably bring up the people on stage and also potentially announce Doctor Doom. Other movies that are expected to show up next month are, with trailers, they're saying, are going to be Captain America, Brave New World, and the Thunderbolts. And they also think that footage could be a real possibility and perhaps a trailer. Let's see what else. They think this is where the Daredevil Born Again TV show will get a spotlight. Agatha All Along, which actually just recently showed their first look, I think last week, should be showing here too. And then they're also going to be giving a taste of an upcoming Wonder Man series. So that sounds kind of cool too. I think they're also rumored to be announcing that Fantastic Four is shooting the day after. So they're going to be flying to Sydney, Australia to start shooting the Fantastic Four.
Let's go.
Yeah, but we're going to see all four of them, I think, on the stage. I don't know. And then I think they're also going to be and then another rumor is that they're going to be giving out who the new director is for Blade, the hardest movie ever made.
Who's going to be the next director to fail?
Yeah. I mean, when you guys see this, are you guys excited for there to be, and just to give you again, what upcoming movies are coming out? We got Deadpool vs. Wolverine coming out on July 26th. Captain America Brave New World on February 14th, 2025. Thunderbolts on May 2nd, 2025. Fantastic Four is going to be July 25th, 2025. Blade, which I don't think is going to be this date, but they're saying it's going to be November 27th, 2025. And then Avengers, The Kang Dynasty, 2026. Secret Wars, 2027. Guys, do you guys feel like this is important? Do you not really care, being maybe somebody who has been following? What are your thoughts on Marvel returning to Comic-Con?
Let the hype train build. I think this is big, Gets the fan base pumped.
Yeah. Get the fan base happy again.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, after everything we've seen.
And when Deadpool and Wolverine comes out, I think the hype it's there for the taking to ramp it up if it hits as heavy as we think it will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. I can't wait till we do a prediction episode of what we think is going to happen in the movie. I think this is crucial. I think one thing that 2020 ruined, and I think coincidentally went with Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame was it ended in 2019. Same with this. I just think this is one of the things that, maybe not saying one of the reasons why we've had such failures with movies in the MCU, but there haven't had moments where we're bringing the audience in. We're reading everything online right now, and we're getting the fan news, and we're seeing trailers on a random Tuesday. And maybe events like this can bring the community together. Watch a trailer together. Everyone's freaking out. We're all going, "Oh my God, I'm throwing my hat. I'm texting Vu and texting Brad, and I gotta talk about what I just saw at Comic-Con."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I gotta talk about it. We haven't had that in a while, right?
This is part of the enjoyment, building hype, messaging your friends about what's going on, what could potentially go on, building speculation. This is what it's about. This is what the community needs.
Mm-hmm. And maybe
this is good news.
Maybe we needed these failures. Maybe superhero movies are at the tail end of its longevity right now. I mean, it's been 20 years. Western movies, I think, were about 30 years, and everyone thought there was no way Western movies would ever go away. John Wayne, other characters I can't think of right now. Those were the guys who were making millions and millions of dollars in Hollywood. And this is very equivalent to that. Same with zombie stuff. I mean, gosh, Walking Dead was obsessive. Everyone was obsessed with it. And maybe Marvel movies have overstayed their welcome, but dang it, I think this helps add a little bit to their longevity and saying we're not giving up yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they're not going down without a fight.
Right.
And you know what? I don't know. We, as of right now, as a part of this, it may end after this. Maybe Secret Wars is going to end, and we won't see any Marvel movies going forward with these characters. I don't know. I know Spider-Man's supposed to be back, and I know all that, so I guess we'll probably get Tom Holland as Spider-Man going forward. But, I will say this. I am hoping for more success up until Secret Wars in May 2027 than failures. if you ask me.
Yeah. I'm very curious as to how Captain America and Thunderbolts are going to turn out.
Yeah. Like I always told you, because we always read like quotes from actors who were like, "Oh, I just got done joining this movie and it was great and the acting was awesome and there was a script. You just wait until we see the script." And I told you, I mean, there's no actors who can go out there and be like, "I fucking hate this movie. This movie's shit," and don't watch it next year. You know what I mean?
Minus Dakota Johnson.
Yeah, Dakota Johnson. She didn't even know what movie she was in. She thought she was a part of the MCU. That's so crazy. I don't know, Brad. I know you don't watch this a lot. I guess you've watched the new Avengers recently because we told you to, of course. But I don't know. Are you gonna be tracking that day, or at least you can be excited when I send you guys all? And I'm sure Vu will be tracking too when we send it to the group chat. All this shit.
Yeah, absolutely. I think hype is fun. Like, and announcements like this are very exciting, especially when they hit. If they hit, so let's just add the pressure onto Marvel. Gotta hit.
Yeah, you gotta hit.
This is the biggest weekend for Marvel since Endgame, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think you might be
true.
right, dude. You are not wrong about that. Great take. Because this movie is directly going to push what we can expect going forward.
Yeah,
I thought,
exactly.
me and Vu, remember we saw Doctor Strange, the multiverse of madness. We're in the multiverse saga. And
that's where it was supposed to start.
Yeah, it was supposed to start. It was nothing.
We've got like 5 films since, and they've done nothing too.
and luckily, Guardians of the Galaxy was a good movie. That was a good, but it was an ending to the trilogy. It didn't add to the future. I mean, we are going to see a new Guardians going forward, but who even knows with that? So I don't know. Yeah. I think it's kind of a big deal, and it's exciting. They're going to be back. I can't wait to geek out with you guys when we're following it. Come July 27th. I'll be driving. So I'm going to be driving in
one hand driving, one hand shooting.
Oh yeah, man. All righty. So that is the main topics today here today for Let Me Talk to You. Our next topic or our next segment is just gonna be quick news, quick reaction. So I want to just go through with these. We don't want to spend more than a minute on each topic, and then from there we'll big burp. We'll move on to sorry, that was disgusting. Could you guys hear that? I hope not. Sorry, everybody.
I wish you put the mic closer.
Yeah, I wish you did hear it.
So, gentlemen, what do we think of the Superman leaks? Have you guys been following them?
I have no idea.
Set photos.
Have you seen any of the set photos, Brad? Nope. Do you want to see them or no?
Nope.
All right, you do?
Yep.
Okay, let's show you. Set photos. So, okay.
Is it like that image with him sitting down and then?
It's that stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Like apparently Millie Alcock has already shown up. They haven't showed us exactly what she's doing yet, but where are the photos at?
She's Superwoman, right?
Supergirl.
The Supergirl?
Yeah, she's Supergirl. All right, so let me share the screen here. Okay. So like this has been it so far. So it's like it's things like this. So one, what do you guys think of the suit from the back? Do you like all the color? Do you like the S symbol on it again? Do you like him wearing underwear again?
Yeah. This is what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Vu, carry on.
No,
do you like these guys in it? Do you think they're going to have a huge role in this movie?
It looks good so far. I guess I haven't seen these pictures exactly. I saw the one where he was with the other superhero with like the T on his face.
Yes. Who is that guy? It's that guy.
The Toxic Avenger.
Yep. Yeah. I heard that's like a pretty comic accurate.
Well, Mr. Terrific.
For him, though. Yep.
Do you know who Mr. Terrific is, Brad?
No. Clearly, because I thought it was a different person.
Oh, yeah, clearly. Yeah. Toxic Avenger.
Loser.
No, you're not a loser, Brad. We all like you still. We all love you, man. Okay, here we go. So here's like him, like, again, here he is again. Junk looks good. I respect that they got a little bulge now. They didn't really have that in the last one. My Superman needs a bulge. But yeah, here's Mr. Terrific. Here they are again. What do you guys think of his look as Superman? Of course, the suit's gonna be a little baggy right now, but I think once they go through editing, it'll tighten up and make it a little bit more Man of Steel-esque. But I kind of like this change of a lot of colors, a little more vibrant, and a little more comic accurate. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
It looks retro to me. I don't know if you guys are getting that vibe, but I kind of like the retro vibe.
Okay.
Yeah, I think just because we're just used to the like no colors, dreary drab, but I think DC needs to get away from that.
And I like that he's in shape, man. He seems. Oh, here's the first look of Lois Lane. In purple. I wonder what she's getting out of the new Tesla. Let's see what else. A lot of pictures.
Are these leaked?
Yeah, these are leaked. Yeah. He's not necessarily releasing them, but okay, cool. Well, I mean, I think we're all excited, so it's good to see kind of progress, and this movie comes out next year. So 2025 is truly going to be an insane year for movies.
Oh, yeah.
Can't wait for it. All right, moving on. Next topic is just, again, keep it quick. HBO and Paramount, again, we spoke about this back in December, but they're finally rumored to be merging together. And they're going to be putting their apps together, Paramount Plus and HBO Max. Has Nathan Fielder done it again, putting together HBO and Paramount Plus?
Oh, hopefully it's one less service I could have to subscribe to.
Yeah, Paramount Plus should never have been by itself.
Yeah. Did anyone besides the Curse? Did anyone else watch anything on there?
Yeah, I that's probably my most used streaming service.
Paramount Plus?
Yeah.
Oh, what are you watching?
Jersey Shore.
Oh, reality TV.
Yep, that's where I get all
Viacom.
Yep.
Okay.
That's all my reality TV is on Paramount Plus.
That is so funny. I never would have guessed that.
Yeah, that is actually hilarious.
You have got to be one of the rarest people out there.
Yep.
Good for you, man. I mean, it is complete failure. They're not making a ton of money. They actually are doing so bad that they're going to be releasing a Quiet Place Day 1 on Paramount Plus in like 2 or 3 weeks because they want people to sign up.
I'm pretty sure the second one was straight to the app, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Disappointing. Paramount's in a little bit of disarray right now. I think we should run it. Why are we not running Paramount? Give us a chance, AMC. All right, cool, man. Next topic. Twisters is releasing next week. I think it's this. Is it this weekend? I think Twisters releasing or the next week. It's coming over the next couple of weeks. But is released. Actually, yeah, it's coming out. And are you guys excited for it? Do you want to see it? And if you didn't have AMC A-list, would you have seen it?
Good. You knew exactly what I was going to say. I don't think I would have paid money to see it, but it is giving me an itch to try to go find a stream illegally of the original.
Yeah,
because I'm definitely not going to pay $5 to watch the original. But okay. I remember the original being cool. Like I do want to see both, which is not what I would have expected when I first heard there was a Twister sequel. But Glenn Powell's hot, so
okay.
I think I need this
momentum wise.
Yeah. I guess the only thing I've seen Glenn Powell in is Anyone But You, and I thought he was a little cringy in that. So I need something.
Wait, you never saw Top Gun?
No.
Maverick?
Nope.
Okay, see, that needs to be one of your next few movies, Vu.
Okay,
that's a really good one. And
that's seen the first one?
I haven't seen the first one either.
But that's Paramount Plus. You might as well take advantage of it before it gets
Yep. So
all right.
I'd recommend Hitman on Netflix.
I didn't like it as much, but I'm glad you did.
I mean, I wouldn't say I was like
new relationship. People like it.
I wasn't blown away, but I mean, he's got some cool range. I thought that was fun.
His acting was
the Netflix movie. So.
Yeah. I just need something to restore my faith in Glenn Powell. So maybe I should start with Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, I mean, he's really good in Top Gun Maverick. I will say that. He's a good villain in it. And the movie is intense. Turn your speakers up loud. Watch it on a big TV. and just strap in because it is a wild ride.
Okay. I'm rooting for him so bad just because, he's hot.
Yeah.
What's not to like?
What's not to like?
Right.
He's a good Texas kid.
Yep.
His first movie was Spy Kids 2 or 3.
Yeah, he was like a little
That's
boy.
a great trilogy.
Yeah, great. Brad used to fall asleep to that one too. After Shrek.
Oh
Oh, man.
God.
Cool,
Spy
man.
Kids.
And maybe and speaking of this next one, maybe the most useless sex scene in the history of movies was the first Star Trek movie. And then moving on to Star Trek. Do you guys care about a Star Trek 4 coming out with the Chris Pine cast and crew?
I didn't know there was 3.
There was a Star Trek Beyond after Star Trek with Khan. Khan was the second one, and then the first one, of course. I mean, do you want to see another one, or should they just? Are you guys even Star Trek fans anymore? Should it be done? What do you think?
Never was.
Another Paramount property.
Yeah, I've never seen anything Star Trek related. So
None of them.
Are the movies good? The old ones?
The old ones are supposed to be fantastic, but I like the Chris Pine trilogy. Third one is a little disappointing. First and second to me, I loved.
Okay.
I think it's Chris Pine's big character. I mean, that's the reason why he's not in the MCU, and is because he had that character. He was the main guy in it. So
Okay.
Chris Pine in Dungeons and Dragons. That's top tier.
Good. So
Chris
good.
Pine.
Yes, that's kind of his character a little bit in Star Trek. I do recommend it. I know Star Trek doesn't seem like a good movie, but the first one's really good in this trilogy. I do recommend it if you want to just give it a chance. It's Chris Pine's best role by far. I don't give a shit what anyone says. Dungeons and Dragons is good.
Who can fight you?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Brad. I just have to. I just didn't like you saying that. Okay? The first one's his best, and I like him as the second one too. So,
wow. I'll add it to the list. My
Great.
ever-growing list.
The ever-growing, the nonstop. Yeah, I don't know how you're ever going to keep up, but we'll decide which one. Do you mind if we decide which one you should check out this week?
No, go for it.
Cool. All right, man. Well, then last, I want to go before we get into lay critique. Can we talk about House of the Dragon? Everyone out there, spoilers. All right, episode 2 of House of the Dragon. Let's go to that before we get into episode 3. We are a House of the Dragon podcast. House of the Dragon episode 2. I'm blanking out on what happened right now. Does anyone remember?
Episode 2 was post little boy death.
Yes.
Yep.
Funeral procession and propaganda.
Gosh. Yeah, I mean,
I was blown away by that episode. I wasn't expecting it. It had Dune vibes to me. Like the shooting of it, cinematography was just like really well done. Like I just thought it was powerful and very cool politically of like how they used this horrific event to try to sway the war.
Yeah. I think it made me realize how like schemy the Hand was. Sir Otto Hightower is always trying to play things to a spin. So
yeah, but I liked Otto in this episode. So bringing it back, I mean, one of the big things in this episode was Otto Hightower was essentially telling the king, Rhaenyra, Aaron, what's his name again? Sorry,
Aegon,
essentially telling him that you were given this role because you weren't given. I don't know who just joined us, but they said Mr. Anti-Idiotic. Cool. Hey, dude, what's up? Welcome. Does anyone know who that is?
Nope, but he's #1 fan. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go, dude. All right, cool. Either way, House of the Dragon. I think Otto Hightower essentially was kind of hinting to what we found out in episode 3, that he was given his position because he wasn't necessarily. I guess they didn't all think he was going to become this great king. I guess, right? I mean, is that what the whole point was? Is that Aegon was kind of going a little crazy. Who the heck is Kitty Pryde in the MCU? All right, man, totally. Hey, follow and like and subscribe us, dude. You guys don't know who this guy is right now?
No
idea.
Cool, man. Kitty Pryde, huh? I wonder who that is. But yeah, keep going into the episode. We're talking about House of the Dragon. I don't know if you're watching this, Mr. Anti-Idiotic. Brad, what do you think? Keep going to the episode, but I mean,
I thought the dialogue was on par. The scene at the end where Otto Hightower gets dismissed as his role when he was talking with Aegon and Kristen Cole. And then obviously the scene with Rhaenyra, Daemon, and Rhaenys and all the other council members, and Daemon has like that side eye when they're talking about like who did this, like who would have ordered this, and then Rhaenys just immediately knows like, oh, that's fucking Daemon.
Yeah.
And then Rhaenyra looks at him and she's like, oh, I fucking know.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think that the whole dynamic of Daemon and Rhaenyra, I mean, they have 2 children together. They are married, but she's still just like, fuck this guy. Like,
yeah, you need to acknowledge me as your queen.
Yeah.
A
good episode.
I love him, man. I really do like his character in this show. Personally,
what about you, Vu?
Yeah, what do you think?
I did think the beginning of the episode was a little slower from what I remember, but still a very good episode. Made me dislike Sir Kristen Cole even more than I did before. I remember that. Just think he's kind of a bad guy.
That's right. This episode really made Sir Kristen Cole a true asshole.
Yeah.
Right? And then he ended up getting laid at the end of the episode. Biggest prick in the episode, and then it ended with her slapping him in the face, and then he shoved her against the door, and they made love.
Wait, this is also the episode where he like sends the twin to impersonate his brother.
We haven't
Battle of the Brothers.
Yes. Yeah. Go into this, boys. What do you guys talk? Let's talk about it. I mean, he was. I think the brother who was with Rhaenyra was the first person to essentially announce to her, "I will follow you," going into this, going to this separation. And then to have the brothers come in like that. I mean, Brad, did they discuss that in the book itself?
Yeah, there's a couple different possibilities of how the fight went, because that's kind of that's the theme of the book, is like you get perspectives from a lot of different people, so you never truly know what's true until you watch the show, and like that's what they're putting out there as the truth. But yeah, I thought it was cool. I was actually confused at who really won.
Same.
Because
same.
Based on like the guy that gets his leg slashed, I thought was the one that follows Rhaenyra, and he was killed. But at the end, behind the scenes at the end, the guy Kogler confirms that it's the one that follows Rhaenyra actually did win and then killed himself. So I was confused by that, but either way, the brother battle was emotional, cool, and you could tell that when Eric kills Arik, that he just like couldn't live with himself, and so he had to leave this world.
Yeah.
What does he say to her? He goes, "I have to." Do you remember what his actual statement was to Rhaenyra?
He's like, "Your Grace,
apologizes.
I'm sorry.
I have to leave the King's Guard or the Queen's Guard or something like that."
Yeah, that was so sad. Probably one of the saddest scenes from this show so far, in my opinion. Which really made me hate Sir Kristen Cole even more.
Yeah,
doing all this.
Didn't he pick him just because he was just being an asshole at lunch?
Yeah, and then because his cloak was dirty, and then
I think it's just Christian projecting himself, because he's like, I'm dirty, I'm a failure, I fucked up.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to like project it onto somebody else, and
this entire show is projections. They all project.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
That episode, the ending was crazy. I was like, oh, let the brothers live.
Yeah. And then we saw Daemon fly off on a dragon. And I remember that was kind of the moment of like, I didn't understand where he was going. But after this episode, I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense. He was trying to go into, and we can go to episode 3, unless there's anything else you guys want to go into for episode 2. But we find out that Daemon is going to the largest castle. It's not King's Landing, but the largest castle of the 7 kingdoms.
Harrenhal,
yeah. Do we see that in the Game of Thrones very much?
Yeah, Harrenhal is where Arya is in like jail with the rat catcher who's trying to torture her and all the other people of the Riverland. It's just like essentially back in the day when Aegon the Conqueror first came, Harren the Black, which is a house that is no longer a thing because of the Conqueror.
I love that Brad knows so much of this shit.
Yeah.
Let's go, dude. Thank you. You're giving me so much knowledge. I need this.
Think of them like they're kind of like the Greyjoys, like savage kind of people. Was the Black House Black, and they like enslaved a lot of people or like forced people to build like the biggest castle that has ever existed. And then the dragons came and he's like, oh, fuck you, Aegon. You can't get me. I'm in my huge fortress of stone. And then Aegon with his 2 sister wives and their 3 dragons said, fuck you, we're going to burn you alive. And they melted stone by how much dragon fire. And that's why it's in ruins.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so massive that no one has had the coin to repair it or the need. But that's kind of why it's such a massive like physical structure that can host such a large army, which is why Daemon goes there to claim it. Because the Riverlands they mentioned had 40,000 swords that could be sworn to either side. And if you want 40,000 people, you want a place that can host them. And so that was his reasoning for going there. But then as you can see, how strong that now holds Harrenhal is a very small family. I mean, they barely, as Daemon walks through, it's like desolate.
Yeah, didn't he kill one person?
Yeah, it's huge. It's just massive.
Or didn't even kill him. I think he just pushed
just knocked him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy was like, please, thank you. Someone take it. We don't have the best food, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stays in that master bedroom. I think this is an interesting episode with him because there was 2 things. Him going to that tree. That tree, for some reason, do I recognize that tree from something?
The weirwood.
That's the weirwood. Tell me more what that is.
Those are those trees that have white bark and red leaves, and they are part of the religion of the North and the children of the forest and the Starks. They're the only ones that pray to the old gods, and the old gods are connected to the weirwoods. And we know from, I believe, the show with that guy that's morphed into the tree. If you remember the crow, three-eyed raven, that like it's essentially talked about that like people like the three-eyed raven and Bran can like see through the tree and can like look into the past, and
that's
like,
that tree.
There's magic with this kind of with like the weirwood trees.
So that's the reason why he was able to see. Is that the reason he was somehow able to see? I'm trying to remember the episode. See Millie Alcock,
the young Rhaenyra,
or was that in the bedroom? I
the
forget.
visions.
I could go more into it if you want me to, but
it doesn't bother me. We have 0 followers right now. Anyone out there who does want to hear this, tell us now.
It's connected with that woman you see at the end with the black hair.
Yes, freaky as hell.
Who was that? Yeah.
Well, we saw her earlier. Was she a daughter of the guy?
She was at dinner.
Yeah, she was at dinner.
I believe her name is like Alice Rivers or Alice Waters. She's a bastard, I believe, of someone in the Strong family. So when you have a bastard, they give them specific names based on the region you're born in.
Okay.
So that region is Rivers or Waters, I can't remember. But she is quoted as being like a woods witch. So she kind of has like magical, supernatural-ish powers of like dreams and hallucinations.
So she
we'll probably
gave that
see
to him.
more of her. Yeah, we'll see more of that in the future.
And then do you remember what she tells him?
Yeah, he's gonna die there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then she took my dreams too, and she told me I was gonna die in my bed. Right here.
So yeah, just keep all the information in your mind, and
okay,
enjoy the show.
Yeah. Okay, I like that, and in his look at the end too of just, and it led into what the ending of the episode. The big part was the great misconception of Game of Thrones, I would say. Vu, do you remember this end part? If you want to go into it, or Brad, you can keep taking it away too.
No, Vu, if you got it.
You're talking about when Rhaenyra goes to the city?
Yes,
back to the city?
Yes. I want to say I love this scene. I love the tension, them trapped, we're looking different. The memes online too are pretty funny that were connected to this because her face. But I just thought this was a great sequence, a great last 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was awesome. Like, these are probably the only 2 people that don't want to go to war on both sides. The only 2 people with reason. So Rhaenyra going to talk to Alicent, just to talk to her and see like how can we prevent something like this, and give her side of the story on everything. Saying that I didn't order the hit on your niece or nephew, and then Alicent saying she didn't order the hit on her son either. And then it coming out that, you know, what her dad said and Allison's husband said, that it, you know, the song of Ice and Fire, or the Tale of Ice and Fire.
The Tale of Ice and Fire.
Where,
No, the song. It's the song, right? It's like a tale, but it's called the Song of Ice and Fire.
yeah, the Song of Ice and Fire, even though it has Aegon's name, it was the Aegon before, not the Aegon that's her son and the king right now that she's trying to look at as the king. That's what I got out of it, right?
And the look on her face when she goes,
Yeah. Yeah.
come again?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like,
When she's like, oh, damn, maybe
Yeah.
I was wrong. But
Yeah.
then her saying, like, it's too late. Like, forces have been mobilized. Like, there's nothing I can do at this point. Even though we're wrong, we're still going to fight.
yeah, that was huge to me. That blew my mind when I saw that. Brad, could you
Yeah.
add more context as well? Or what your thoughts were on it?
Yeah, I mean, it's actually interesting. I guess we didn't do this podcast when that first season came out, but that is
Right.
like completely new lore that nobody has heard before about this like prophecy that Aegon the Conqueror had, that like there had to be a Targaryen as king, ruler of Westeros to essentially like prevent the White Walkers, you could say. And so, yeah, I thought it was cool that, you know, Rhaenyra finally got the context she needed of like, oh, so this is why everything's happening, because we name all of the fucking children after Aegon the Conqueror, so there's a misunderstanding.
Will we ever get an Aegon the Conqueror show? Like, considering how god level this guy is, it seems like he's the Jesus Christ of this world.
That's a good question. I don't know, but just because of how well and quick he conquered, you know, like he just came in and dominated an entire continent.
Yeah,
because he had dragons and nobody else did.
Yeah, true. Oh, and then the eggs in this episode that were, or I think apparently were the eggs that, what's her name in Game of Thrones gets? Emilia Clarke's character. Daenerys.
They're different, right?
No, those are the eggs. Those are the same eggs.
They're potentially.
Brad, you son of a bitch.
Whoa, Brad.
That's what it is. It is. I saw.
I don't know. Like,
you don't know that,
but
that's what I've been told. That's why I saw.
Potentially,
anyone can lie.
Yeah, that's what I saw on Threads too.
Yeah, right.
What are your guys' thoughts on these how would I call them? These small folk that they keep showing.
I like it. I like seeing.
Who do you think they are? Why are they showing them?
Well, they're the people who are going to be fighting. They're going to be people who are going to be part of this great war.
The blacksmith, Ulf, the guy in the tavern, Adam and Alan Hall and Driftmark.
Can we talk about the guy in the tavern? He's a bastard and related. He's Daemon's brother.
Yeah.
That's what he thinks.
Okay.
I just think these are guys going to be in battle, and we're essentially getting a little bit of background on the people who aren't even a part of this whole drama. We're getting what are their thoughts? How is the life currently under this regime? What do you think, Brad? Just tell us.
I'm not going to say anything. You got to enjoy
it. Fuck you, Brad. Tell us, dude.
Yeah, this is huge. I'm not going to say anything. I'm just curious.
I
mean, what do you think, Viv? I feel like you're a little more. I watch it. I definitely am just so confused, and I try to figure it out. I mean, maybe you know a little more than me.
I guess I haven't really. That's a good thing to bring up because I haven't even really thought about it. Like the guy that saved in the ship, the guy that saved the guy with the limp leg.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. That was episode 2.
Yep. Like, what is his role? Like, I'm assuming they're gonna gear up for battle, and he's gonna be a big part in the war that's to come. Yeah. That's my guess on that character.
Right.
As far as the blacksmith goes, I don't know where they're going with the blacksmith thing. Yeah. To be quite honest with you, seems a little random, but just
does he make the sword? Like maybe he makes a specific sword for somebody during this battle.
Yeah. And
do they all just have gay sex? Is that what it is, Brad? You just don't want to tell us that? Like, tell us. They have a little. They have gay. You're laughing, so it's true. They have gay. You've heard it here first.
Confirmed.
Confirmed.
Is that how it all gets intermingled?
I'm just merely curious as a non-book reader who doesn't know what's happening because it's cool.
Okay.
So how many books are there for this series?
It's just one book that talks
But the
about
huge
all
one, right?
Targaryen kings.
Okay. And the first season was the first half of the book?
No, honestly, like this whole 4-season show is like maybe 100 pages.
Oh. Wait, so it's 100% going to be 4 seasons?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
We're on season 2 right now. Okay.
We're on season 2 and dragons haven't even fought yet.
Yeah.
That's going to be wild. Yeah, because that's something that you didn't see in Game of Thrones is like both sides having dragons.
Oh. Yeah, I guess near the end you did.
Yeah, and the Night King got a dragon, but
What'd you guys think of everyone saying it's not true because we saw who the Night King was, but everyone's saying that Aemon would end up being the Night King.
Oh, I haven't heard that. That's cool.
Yeah, I don't think he would. That doesn't make sense and whatever, but it'd be really cool if they somehow just said fuck it to the lore and just said made it him. I think that'd be really neat.
I actually felt bad for him.
I know.
In this episode.
He's a cool character. Like
I want him to be more villainous. I liked him I like him as he has the perfect face to be a bad guy.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Perfect.
He does have he has a punchable face.
He looks like a modern day Eagle Crow looking human being.
Yeah. You know? But the way his brother treated him, his brother is becoming like the biggest villain.
And he wasn't that good season 1. I did not like him that much. Like as an actor, I didn't think he was that good. This season, he's way better.
He's gone crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, this season has been very good so far. I'm very happy with what I've seen, and apparently the next episode is supposed to rival Battle of the Bastards. So
that's where it starts. Here it is.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Did you watch previews for the next episode? Oh.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
Damn, okay, sick. All right,
Yeah,
I'm pumped. I had no idea. I don't watch any of the previews because I want to go into it kind of like,
I respect it. Do you watch the behind the scene where they talk about the episode that you just watched?
No, I don't watch any of it. I turn it off and then I try to usually fall asleep or cry myself to sleep or watch the boys.
It's tough because it goes episode, credits, next up, behind the scenes, and the behind the scenes I think are really cool.
Yeah,
it's just the actors talking about the motives of their character in the episode.
I actually do like how HBO does that. I did that for The Last of Us. I watched all those behind the scene videos.
Yeah,
but I should start doing that for this.
I recommend
it.
Close your eyes for like the first minute because you don't want to see spoilers.
Sure, right? Yeah.
I am. Who's fighting next week? Because Rhaenyra doesn't have an army. So is it what we saw in the beginning of episode?
Bro, stop asking these questions. Brad knows. I don't want him to tell.
Yeah, but is it like what we saw in the beginning of the 3rd episode? No, I just want to set the stage.
Okay.
Is it more of that? Is that just what it is?
Tell us, Brad.
The yellow versus the red?
I'm trying to... I don't think it's the Blackwoods and Brackens. They've already slaughtered each other.
Oh, it's not that. Gotcha. I just assumed.
Crown Lands. Yeah, so it's the area... if you remember when they were talking about how... There's a bunch of houses right next to King's Landing and Dragonstone, and like those people, like some are ghosts, some are this way. I think it's these like really close to King's Landing houses that will fight and like start the light the ignition essentially of war.
Okay, gotcha. I just was wondering if it was the same families from the beginning of the last episode or not.
No, because that I think is a little further up north. I think because I believe Ned Stark's wife has Blackwood in her, and she's from Tully in the Riverlands, and that's a little more center north. So this is like right.
Brad knows like the geography.
He knows everything. Yeah, this is his thing. Like I'm so glad we this is like a big segment.
Yeah,
I love this.
Brad knows.
Brad, this is great to have you on here, dude. For a year and a half, he's had to listen to Vu and I just talk shit about bullshit Marvel. Now he gets to really take over. I love it.
So yeah, here's King's Landing, Aegon, Dragonstone is Rhaenyra. These are the people that this is like the fight because it's all close to like the people, and this is Harrenhal where Daemon flew off to.
Okay.
This is amazing. I wish we could segment this episode into Game of Thrones episode 2 and 3. Brad, I just think this is really cool that we're like experts in a way.
Yeah.
This is cool that we have experts for an MCU at DCU in a way. I think, God, we're a good podcast. I really do think we're a good podcast, honestly.
That's why Mr. Anti-Idiotic came.
Yeah, man. Dude, that's the first time we've had somebody. See, we're getting 1% better every day, man.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, dude.
We have fans.
Yeah, we got fans. I told him to follow him. So I'll let you know if you follow him.
Yeah. We got
cool.
American fans.
Well, yeah, we got an American fan finally. and the Jums, the Belgiums. So, all right, guys, we've spent 35 minutes on this. I think we are allowed to finally move on, but I think this was a great weekly Game of Thrones talk, and I'm excited to discuss more. Vu already let me know a lot of things going on next week, so I'm glad to figure it out, I guess. I don't know. But
sorry to spoil.
No, you're good, homie. You're good, homie. I'm just kidding. Cool, man. Well, then, I never realized how blonde my hair looks right now. Sorry to distract, but
you got a nice little tan going, Kev.
I do. I've been outside a lot. Okay. Final segment of this. We got two more, but we can run through this one a little quicker because we do got to get through our top movies of 2024 so far. Let's go through movie reviews, light critique. We've got the Bear season 3 we've already discussed. So let's go into No Country for Old Men. We discussed that last episode with Brad. Vu, did you want to go through it quick?
Yeah, so this was my movie of the week that I got. And wow, what a great like cat and mouse thriller-esque movie. Like nice. I just did not expect that at all. And yes, Anton Chigurh, that's his last name?
Chigurh.
Chigurh, yes, is one of the scariest villains of movie history. Yeah. Like that dude is
him dragging that shotgun, man. Oh my god, through the streets.
The fact that he uses like that CO2 pump that just shoots the singular projectile is crazy.
And it's such a cool way to do it too.
Yeah,
and the gun looks so sick too with it.
And he's got like the perfect like haircut to go along with.
Oh,
his,
the haircut.
Yeah. The bowl cut, that's like his
scariest part.
Yeah,
I would agree. Oh my god, what's your favorite, guys? I mean, if we keep going, I want you to give a review, but then follow up that. What is your favorite scene in the movie? Because I think it has many great different scenes to it. Long scenes, they're long scenes, so that's why it's like, it's many different parts to it.
Yeah, I just thought that the movie had like just a great story throughout. I think Josh Brolin really did his best to kind of keep up and keep away from Anton and the Mexican cartel.
It's an Anton Chigurh movie for sure.
Yeah, but he just couldn't do it. It was sad. The one like confusing part to me, and I know I texted you guys this, was just the ending was I didn't quite understand it. I didn't get Tommy Lee's monologue at the end when he's sitting there with his wife going through his past. I guess I just didn't really connect how that had anything to do with the movie. Like, I get he retired because, like, there's bigger, badder people out there and he can't stop them all. But just that last scene, I was a little confused on.
Same.
So, I tried looking it up. Yeah, I tried looking it up and I couldn't really find anything either.
Okay.
But do you remember that, Kev?
I think it's just, I'm reading it and it says it's him coming to terms with what has been done and nothing can change what has already happened.
Okay. It's part of his process of getting through it, I guess.
Yeah, it's him processing it. Yeah, it's riding out with his father in the cold and they were going to make a fire and he realized that wherever he ends up, his father will be there too. Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this movie's kind of like how The Dark Knight's a Joker movie. This isn't, it's an Anton Chigurh movie for sure.
Yep. Yeah, but fantastic movie though. Like,
do you think you would have ever watched it had I not? Both of you, do you think you guys would have ever watched it had I not recommended it?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope.
I love Tommy Lee Jones in it. I love him.
Yeah.
In it. He's maybe my favorite character more than his
like assistant like police officer guy is just like clueless or something.
Doesn't he get shot or something? He gets fucked, doesn't he?
No,
I
I think
no,
he's fine.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think
But yeah,
so.
Okay. Keep going, sorry.
as far as my favorite scene from the movie, this is a tough one. I think it was like I don't know. I don't know what my favorite. Maybe the chase when um Josh Brolin had to move to the hotel.
Yeah,
And
no, that's mine too.
and Anton finds him, and Josh gets a shot at him, injures Anton. Like that was pretty
And
intense. Like they both get
he's
banged up.
laying on the bed, and
Yep.
he sees him, and he's yeah.
Yep.
I need to
Yeah.
rewatch that movie. I haven't seen it in probably a good 6 years.
I also
It's
like
very good.
the motel scene before where there's the 3 Mexican guys in his old room,
Mm-hmm.
Josh Brolin's old room, and so first of all, that shotgun with the silencer that's like this big breaks in, like destroys the first guy by the bed, destroys the guy in the bathroom, and then sees the guy in the shower. And the guy's like, "Don't kill me, don't kill me," and you think he's not going to, closes the
Closes the
curtain
shower. Yep.
just so the blood stays.
Yeah.
Yep.
Boom.
Oh
And then
man.
the
And
money's
how
in that room at the time, right? Is it up in
It's in the
the
duct.
in the
I think
vent.
that's when Josh Brolin's character steals it away.
Yep.
how smart was that for his character to like put the money somewhere hidden like that in the vent, then rent the room behind
Yeah.
it to get it from the vent? Like this guy was.
That's a galaxy brain move.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, I'm glad we all three of us saw it. Hopefully we see it on Alex Vu's movie of the year list. If not, I'm glad I recommended it to you boys. All right, next one in the late critique, we are reviewing The Boys. Vu, are you watching The Boys currently, or is that what you want? You going through
Yep.
it?
So I'm 4 episodes in.
Episode one, season
So,
one.
Season 1. Yep.
Gotcha. What are you thinking, man? And then Brad, if you want to add in your thoughts too, and then I'll add my thoughts on season 3. Non-spoiler, of course, but you know.
Oh, wow. This is like completely the opposite of the MCU. Like almost every single character on the show is just a shitty person.
Yeah. Every time Homelander's on the screen, he should be canceled.
Yeah. Like this dude is the worst. Brad, how far are you into the show?
I have seen season 1 in the past,
Okay.
but I haven't
So
started rewatching.
him and Maeve go out and there's a plane that got hijacked and Homelander has a chance to save everybody. And
he tells everyone he's going to save them.
Yeah, he tells the little girl like, "Oh no, you're fine. Like I'm just going into the back to check on something." He's like, "Nope, I'm just leaving." Like, what? Like he literally could, and then he spins it into a way like, "Hey, if the Supes were in the military, we could have done something and saved everybody." Like the way that he's able to manipulate and everything, like it's just crazy. And the show's just crazy. This is what superheroes in real life would actually be like.
I wonder. That's the best thing about season 1. It truly does do a good job of portraying that. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts, Brad? I mean, are you currently watching? Or are you just? I forget.
I haven't started. I haven't restarted it. I'm gonna restart it. I think Bears top on my priority, but I'm gonna be late to The Boys, just like I was late to The Bear.
Oh, that's all right, man. You know what? I don't have to review this episode. We're mid-season. It's a weekly episode. I like the show so far this season. I just like The Boys so much. I've heard it's not as great as everyone else thought it was going to be compared to other seasons. It's very on the nose with thoughts about modern day politics and modern day society. I mean, especially during an election year, it's not easiest thing to watch. It really is not the easiest thing to watch. So, but it's still just as good as any other season. Next on this list for late critique, The Batman. Brad, go through it, man. I want to hear what your thoughts are. I've been excited. I've been pumped to hear this since the podcast started. I'm waiting for you.
Yep.
So yeah, The Batman was my pick to watch and review this week, and I was blown away. I was unexpectedly.
Yeah, let's go.
Hell yeah.
It was a 3-hour movie, and that's why I don't think I
is
watched it before.
It is long, yeah.
But damn, is it a good 3-hour movie? Like, time flew by, and it's like detective-y too, and it really humanizes the Riddler, because I always envision the Riddler as a little more of a joke, but
Jim
he's a
Carrey.
freaky psychopath.
Yeah, the way they portrayed him. Yeah.
Yeah, played by that guy again that always plays like creepy characters.
Yeah, Paul Dano.
Paul Dano.
Yeah.
Yep. But no, I thought Robert Pattinson's Batman was really cool. His Bruce Wayne, I mean, he's like 25, 27 years old, and he's in his second year of trying this whole Batman experiment. So I thought it was a little moody, but I understood why it kind of was.
Did you like the brutality? Like, did you like when that scene where, well, two scenes. One, it showed the Riddler as a menacing murderer, a psychopath, killing the mayor or the person running for mayor in that first scene. And then from there, Batman saving that man at the train station, but not in a nice way of like, swing, stop. It's just snapping, cracking, and popping of bones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just thought it was a superb movie. And then there is a second. I was looking, like, it's confirmed there's a second.
Yep, there is confirmed.
And it's going to be the Joker with our boy.
Yeah.
Our boy, yeah. And another character, too, I've heard. But yeah, that is the big thing. They're going to have Barry Keoghan in there.
Which is...
Do we know when that's going to come out?
2026, I think.
Because it feels like... Because this came out in, like, 2022?
Yes.
It was during COVID. It was a COVID movie.
Or it was the end of it, yeah. It was one of the... It almost made $1 billion, too.
Wow. It was in theaters?
It was in theaters.
Yep. I remember watching it in theaters.
For whatever reason, I thought it was a straight to HBO kind of situation. But no, it was a great recommendation, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Fuck yeah, man.
Nice.
Hell yeah,
I'm glad
dude.
you liked it.
Yeah.
I'm glad I've been able to make up for Logan for you guys. Or at least for you, Brad. I'm glad you like it. And then Brad, like Brad said earlier in the episode, he wants to see more Batman. Or he wants to see Robert Pattinson as a Batman going forward.
I do. I like
Do you think of Robert Pattinson now as a good actor after that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I really liked him in Tenet, too.
Yes, true. Very true. Very true. I agree. Vu, anything you want to add to it, considering you were also a fan and also helped recommend it?
Nope. I can't wait for the second one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to hear more, man. Next on the list, we got A Quiet Place Day 1. I'll go through mine first, and then Brad can go into his, but I liked it. I really liked it. I teared up. It is not – Brad goes into a good point of it's not exactly what you're expecting with Quiet Place maybe. I actually thought it was actually more horror than I was expecting. I thought the other ones were getting a little more thriller on the thriller side. I thought this one was pretty scary. It was cool seeing how these monsters came down to Earth in the noisiest city in the world, some may say, and to see how they interact. And because before we really only saw them in like the outskirts of New York City and New York and whatnot. So, it's a one-off story. It's kind of a side story. It's a side character movie. But to me, I didn't expect me to be so emotionally invested, and sitting on it, I liked it. I gave it a good 8 out of 10.
Yeah. I think it'll be
and it was loud. It was loud. You can't deny that. Loud. And it shook my chair. Like it was really cool to be a part of. All right, Brad, take it away.
I don't know. I was kind of bored at times.
Okay.
I would check my phone, and that's usually my. Never did. That's my sign of like, okay, it's not capturing me. I don't know. I just thought it was a little slower than I was expecting, but I like the characters. Love the cat. Shout out to the cat.
Yeah, Cat's a good character, man.
Highlight of the movie.
Yeah, for sure.
But I mean, if you like the first two, you'll probably like this one. But
is this one still directed by John Krasinski?
No, it's a new guy who did Maze Runner.
Okay,
that's right.
What did you guys think of? What did you think of Joseph Quinn's character?
Who's that?
The main
British guy?
The British guy, the guy who's about to be Flame
Human
On
Torch.
in the Human Torch and Fantastic Four.
That's the Human Torch.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
Eddie from Stranger Things.
Yep.
It's an interesting character. I mean, he was definitely dealing with some trauma.
He didn't have any friends out in New York City.
Yeah, he had nobody, and he stuck with her. And I don't know. He seemed a little clingy to me.
Oh yeah, for sure. He just followed this cat to her, and then he's like, "Can I?" And then he just didn't tell her why he was following her. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. But I thought he did a good job of, being that
that's
second
the Human
character.
Torch. Okay.
Yeah, that's the Human Torch. So, what do you give it out of 10? Would you say, Brad?
7.
Okay.
Is it a must watch when it comes out to Paramount Plus?
I mean, what's on Paramount Plus? So I'd say yes.
Don't disrespect Jersey Shore like that.
I told Brad this. I don't think there's been a bad movie yet this summer.
Mhm.
And I'd agree. There's no
It's not a
Indiana
bad
Jones.
movie. Yeah, there's no Indiana
Yeah.
Jones. Oh my God, no Elemental, no so far. So cool. And then last but not least, I'll go through it. Bike Riders, fine movie. Probably what I would describe as what he thought of for Quiet Place Day One. I thought of this for Bike Riders. I mean, of course, Tom Hardy acted his ass off during it. Austin Butler was a good character, but he didn't really talk. He was kind of a cold, stoic, cool character. Jodie Comer is the main actress in it. She is the best actress besides Tom Hardy. She's very, very good in it too. I just, to me, think that it was just a movie that didn't need to be made. Didn't necessarily care about the story. It was cool. It took place in Chicago. It was cool to hear about this bike gang and one of the top bike gangs during the 60s and 70s, the rise and the fall of it. But for me, it's one of those movies. I don't know if I recommend it to anybody. That's the only thing at this point. It was kind of boring, kind of maybe that's just because of the story itself. I just don't know if I'm deeply invested into Bike Riders and who maybe is anymore. Good cast. Yeah, good cast. Again, if you're not if you feel like you have A-list, you need to burn something, you guys see something with and use your pass, I would see it, but don't spend money on it. So, and it's 2 point, but I think everyone acts their ass off. The story itself's just not very good.
Okay. So. Good to know.
Good to know.
Always interesting when there's a movie out there where you're like, I don't think this needed to be made.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I don't know why. I wonder. It was just kind of boring, and maybe the guy got the story across that he wanted to get across, and it's also told through the lenses of his wife, Jodie Comer. So it's not necessarily told. It's not like a story that's like linear in a way. It's going up and down through different parts, and you're kind of wondering what. It's just giving background history into something. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't care. So, all right. Well, then going to the final topic here today, we want to go through our top movies of 2024. Vu, I already see your list at the top there. Do you want to go through it first, my guy?
Yeah. So I actually have 2 lists. I have a list of top movies that I watched this year that came out within the last 2 years of 2023 and 2024, just because I'm always late to things. Figured I'd kind of group those 2 years together. And then I have
the Alex Vu movie of the year.
Yep, and then I have the second list where it's the top movies that I've watched for the first time in 2024 that came out prior to 2023.
Okay.
So, giving people an insight of like what's new to me and then what's new currently in my viewpoint. So, for the top movies that I've watched in 2024 that have come out within the last 2 years, I'm going to start at 5. I'm going to put Civil War on this list. I know that's probably going to be in your guys' list, maybe, potentially, but I just thought it was really well shot. I think A24 is doing amazing things in the movie sphere. Like, it seems like they can't miss. I think all their movies are, like, expected quality, and I get quality when I watch an A24 movie. Kind of like the futuristic, like, doomsday scenario in that movie. Just great acting, great story, great cinematography. Couldn't ask for much more.
Cool.
Yeah. Next movie was Godzilla -1, and I know you boys hyped this at the end of last year, and it lived up to the hype. It did seem a little slow at times in the beginning, but at the end it's like, whoa, like everything works out, like characters were able to redeem themselves, and it's a Godzilla movie, but it wasn't a Godzilla movie at the same time. Like it focused really on the story, the plot, which, I did watch Godzilla versus King Kong this year, and that movie was just pure action. This is really like developing storylines, relationships, like dialogue, all that. So very good movie, and I got to see it dubbed, which helped, I think.
Nice.
How were the voices?
solid. Like this, it would be what I would expect the voices to sound like of the characters without knowing what they sound like. But yeah, I thought it was good. My third movie, Oppenheimer. Finally got to watch that this year and was super pumped. Cinematography was killer. Cillian Murphy was killer. Got to learn the backstory of what actually happened and the fallout from that. So great movie all around. Was
Good.
very happy about it.
Good.
And then my second movie was Dune 2.
Hell yeah.
You know, I'm on the Dune hype train. If it wasn't for like Kevin Brad, like I don't know if I would have saw it in theaters.
Okay.
Probably would have waited. But just because like all the hype in the group chat, I know Brad was super hyped for it, Kev was super hyped for it. I had to see it in theaters. And wow, it was so good.
Yeah,
This
man. I
movie
love
is
that.
so
Love that.
Good. Killer top to bottom. You know, the fight between was it Paul Atreides and who's Austin Butler's character?
Fade Rafa.
Fade Rotha.
Fade Rotha.
My
Killer
favorite guy.
character. Yeah, killer character in the movie. Beautifully shot. Also the guy that always says like lead Gaza. The chosen one.
Lisan al-Gaib,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, the same guy in Old Country, No Country for Old Men.
Yeah.
Like
Antoine.
what a great
Antoine.
Yeah, yep. Great acting all around. Like I'm very happy I saw that in theaters. Definitely my favorite movie that I've seen this year that came out this year. But the best movie I have seen this year is hands down Iron Claw.
Oh,
Yeah, like that
wow.
movie. I just did not expect to feel those type of feelings watching a movie about wrestling.
Yeah.
You know, it caught me off guard, but the story was so intense and it's filled with such tragedy, but it's acted and presented so beautifully that, you know, it was a tearjerker for sure, and that's definitely my favorite movie so far that came out within the last 2 years.
I do think it's gonna be a movie in 10 years. We look back and we go, those guys were in the movie together. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
that's
exactly.
a great point.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
cast
the
is
main
just-
Lily Depp or Lily James Depp, I think her name is. She also did a great job too.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic job. Everyone did. They acted their ass off. The fact it never got an award, the fact it never got an FAPI, it is on us.
Yeah.
That is on us.
Yeah.
We were too late to the show for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Zac Efron, you know, he's more than just Troy Bolton.
Truly is. And his follow-up movies since Iron Claw look so bad to me. It was like the Robert Schnittige or whatever the hell with John Cena, and then the new Ricky Stenicki, and then the one with Nicole Kidman coming out on Netflix. They're not good, so hopefully he can bounce back and get some real good shows from this.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my list of movies that I've watched this year that have come out within the last 2 years. So
and then we got to hear the Alex Vu movie of the year ranking so far.
Okay, so this is excluding movies that have come out within the last 2 years. So this is movies that are older than 2023 that I have watched for the first time this year.
And he's watched how many movies have you watched so far this year?
I am very close to 40 this year.
Yeah, buddy.
Which is a lot of movies for me. Definitely shattering any record that I held before.
Hell yeah, man. I love that, dude.
Yep.
Let's go.
Shout out to the pod. Shout out to these guys recommending great movies, talking about movies, getting me to watch different movies that I would have never watched before. So it's all because of these guys. So hopefully the viewers are watching too what we recommend, because we don't recommend duds.
We don't.
Yep. So starting the list at number 7, In Time with Justin Timberlake.
It's low key not bad, so I might watch it.
Yeah, it's a very interesting concept of like a futuristic world where like time is the currency. Like everything is dealt with in time.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how every time I co-sign an actor, they just go up and try to win the FAPI for Biggest Criminal Award.
Hell yeah, man.
But yeah, that was a great movie. Number 6, Nice Guys. A pleasant surprise. I did not like when I hear comedy, I don't expect it to be like a murder mystery. Yeah. So this is like a nice little spin on things.
Gosling.
Kind of like, yeah.
Hot Boy Summer for Vu.
Hot Boy Summer. This is the second movie that I've watched of Ryan Gosling. So great stuff coming from him. And coming at number 5, Crazy Stupid Love, the first movie that I saw with Ryan Gosling. Yep. It's a Gosling year for me. I'm getting to know Gosling very well, and I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Nice, man.
Number 4, I have Mad Max Fury Road, which is
Love
just
it.
a very well shot movie. Just well shot, start to finish. Like, this is how all action movies should be shot in my mind.
Yeah, I love the pacing too. Just make it fast and make it action.
Mhm.
Yep, exactly. And then number 3, Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I never saw the first one, only watched the second and third, but getting some backstory on Caesar, James Franco
you never
actually did
saw the first one?
Nope, I never
That's
saw
cool,
the first
man.
one. Yep. So getting the backstory, James Franco was like fantastic in this movie. Like, I'm surprised. I guess I'm not surprised that he wasn't in the rest of them because that wouldn't make sense. But very good movie. Very good movie.
Yeah.
And number 2, No Country for Old Men, because
yeah.
Anton is a beast and a psycho.
Let's go. I love that he's deserved his ranking. I hyped him up well enough.
Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah. But just like this movie, like it honestly feels like, I know we talked about Western movies earlier in this podcast. It felt like a Western.
It does.
Kinda, you know, like getting that shootout vibe, you know, the cat and mouse chase. Like this was a very good movie, and my number 1 movie of the year that I've watched that came out prior to 2023, The Greatest Showman.
Wow.
Oh, what a banger of a movie.
That warms my heart.
I cannot believe that I would enjoy a musical that much, but I did. Zac Efron, Hugh Jackman, all did fantastic jobs. The soundtrack went crazy. Everything just worked. It just worked. I was locked in start to finish, and what a movie.
Nice.
What a movie.
Great list, dude.
Yeah, great list,
Yep.
man. Great list.
Thank you to you guys for the recommendations. Like this list wouldn't be where it's at without you guys.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. We will take our flowers, Brad.
Absolutely.
I can go next. So I got my list here, but so I've got 7. I'll go through it quick. I've got 7. I got A Quiet Place at number 7. I liked it a lot. Like I said, I teared up. I thought it was a great side story, and I want more Quiet Places because of this. So I think it did its job. Number 6, Fall Guy. I thought Fall Guy was a really good movie. I thought it was a little long. There were some characters I thought, you know, I remember enjoying it, but the comedy for me didn't hit as well as it did for let's say Brad. And you guys heard the review in the last episode. He kind of described how much he loved it. So, but I like Ryan Gosling as a comedy character, and I thought it was a fun movie at the end of the day. So, and Aaron Taylor Johnson, good villain, either way. 5, number 5, I got Furiosa. I thought it was a really good flick. Adding on to the lore of Mad Max, unfortunately didn't make a ton of money, but I thought it was as good of a prequel as I really wanted out of it. I didn't really have the highest expectations because of that, and I just really enjoyed it. So it exceeded expectations for me. Number 4, Planet of the Apes 4. Loved it. I thought it was a really good story. I'm so excited for what's going to happen in the future of the Planet of the Apes. It sets it up. But it's another. It's not a prequel, but it's the next story and the next step in this story of the Planet of the Apes, leading to Mark Wahlberg finally returning to Earth. So can't wait for that. Number 3 for me is Challengers. Loved it. Great threesome scene. Great threesome love triangle that they were having together. And I think Zendaya. I also think the 2 guys who were acting in it were fantastic. There was not a single performance that wasn't just great. They all acted their asses off in this movie. And because of this, it's one of those movies I sit on and I just like it more and more. It's a movie about tennis, so I wasn't really excited to see it, but it's just a good acting, good story, good music, sexy, like everyone described. It is a sexy movie. It really is. And it just all these 2 actors I'm big fans of, and I can't wait to see them in more things. They're actually the blonde guy in this movie was in Bike Riders, so it was a nice, pleasant surprise for me. 2, Civil War. I thought it was a great flick. For me, I didn't have these expectations of them actually being like a civil war between Republicans and Democrats. So I thought the story they told between a reporter was good. I love seeing the Narcos actor being one of the main actors in it. I loved him in that. I like the little girl in it as well. And I like Jesse Plemons being a true villain in that one scene. But man, was he a great villain in it. I got to see with Brad as well. And I think we walked out of it being like kind of exceeded expectations for us. So we were really happy. And then number 1, Dune 2. I don't think I need to add anything more else to it. Just that I am, I am Paul Atreides. And then that's, to me, is just such an iconic scene, and I can't wait to see. And now, rumor going around is that Dune Messiah has been picked up and is going to be taken on by Denis Villeneuve. It's too bad we never talked about it today, but love to see this going forward.
Nice.
And it's better than the first. To me, I like this one better than the first one. I do want to say that.
Yep. Let's say the same.
That's a hard one I'd have to think hard about that of my favorites. But all right, I'll get into my top movies, and I'm going to go top to bottom this time because I think it's pretty obvious where my top ones are. So I was just like, let's make it more fun because I think I've got some fun at the bottom for y'all.
Well, I don't know what your number 2 is. I'm excited to hear.
Yeah, so number 1, Dune 2. Truly, It's been hyped up. I saw it 2.5 times.
Yeah, we talked about it for so long. Oh, yeah, 2.5 times.
I just think acting, cinematography, music, everything, the whole experience was top tier, top notch. Nice. It's going to be my movie of the year no matter what else comes out. Number 2, Civil War. I just thought Civil War was it was that movie that when it finished, we looked at each other and were like, wow, that was cool. Like with the perspective of photojournalism being kind of like the anchor of the story. I thought that was brilliant. A24 is, top tier right now. They're doing really good stuff with low budgets, and that's what I think movies need right now.
Good story. Focus on the story.
Absolutely. Number 3, Fall Guy. I really, really did enjoy Fall Guy. Again,
oh, yeah, man. That's awesome to hear.
When that movie ended, I was like, that's a 10 out of 10. Like, that's 2 hours of just quality content.
Awesome man.
Number 4, Inside Out 2. Quality movie. Recommend it to anybody. Kevin, you should definitely go see it again.
I'm going to rewatch it. I'm going to rewatch it.
And coming in at number 5, I'll go into some honorable mentions, but number 5 is Godzilla Kong New Empire.
Yeah!
Wow!
Dog!
I mean, the story, not good. But overall experience in a movie theater.
How much fun did we have?
It was such a good movie.
Yeah.
The action, just the big monsters and the finale. Like I just had a really good time and I wanted to give it some love.
Nice, man.
I'm pretty sure that movie comes out to Max this week. And
Thursday.
I'm hoping that I'm hoping that I can enjoy it as much as you guys did.
Dude, I think we were a part of its hype. I swear to God, I don't know how we did it, but I do think we added to it. So,
and then obviously some of the honorable mentions we've talked. Furiosa, it just wasn't as good as I was hoping.
Okay.
I thought Chris Hemsworth as the villain was really cool. I thought
best
he did
character.
a really great job.
Yeah.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Again, I just wasn't like blown away. I shouldn't say that. I wasn't super interested in the trilogy that Vu you just watched, but damn, after this movie, I'm excited for this next trilogy. It looks beautiful. I thought it's a cool story, and I'm very excited to see where it goes next. And then I wanted to give a shout out to this movie, Kevin. I'm curious what your thoughts are, but looking back, I really enjoyed Beekeeper.
Okay.
I thought Beekeeper was a cool action movie. Jason Statham just killing it as usual, and the scene where you find out that this woman is actually the president of the United States, I think is one of the cooler scenes I've seen lately, where you're like, whoa.
Yeah, okay.
Like the scale of this thing has become huge.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to give a shout out to Beekeeper. I thought that was a cool movie, and I thought you were saying there might be more. So
there are supposed to be. It made a ton of money. So
that was my list. I think we've got some good movies so far.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Anti-Idiotic just joined us again. Who is Kitty Pryde? I don't know. Well, hey, I just want to say this. Mr. Anti-Idiotic, we appreciate you jumping on here because we are at the end of this episode 38 of Filmaholics Entertainment Podcast. Mr. Anti-Idiotic, please subscribe. Please share with your friends. And everyone out there, follow us on Instagram. We're Filmaholics, enter ENT on Instagram. I think we're Filmaholics Podcast. Maybe on Instagram, is that where we are, or is that YouTube? Oh, God, I really should have this down. But we're just like a Filmaholics Entertainment Podcast or Filmaholics Podcast. You're probably going to find us first. Again, we just appreciate everyone listening out there. We're up to over 1,300 different downloads now. We're international around the world, which is really cool to see. And, I think it's just been a really great experience for us to be here. This is, I think, our episode 21 of the season already. 21 episodes and we're only halfway through the year. And last year we had 18. So really amazing that we've got to do this together. And I think it's going to lead to things like our Fappies being the best it's ever been. And I think movies are going to keep getting better. And again, it's not maybe the best year for movies because of the strikes, but I think we're making it and leading into 2025 with a good hot streak. So anything you guys want to say before we end the show?
It's good to be back. Shout out to Mr. Anti-Idiotic.
Yeah,
for
man.
following us. And
man.
Keep following along. It's only going to get better.
Yeah. Shout out to the followers. Movies are back.
Yeah, man. Mr. Idiotic, let us know your shirt size. We have a merch coming out soon. It was stuck in Vietnam for the longest time, but we did get it. We did find it. One of our subscribers over there actually helped get us figured out. So if you want us to send you a shirt, we can definitely do that. So, hey, everyone out there, again, thank you for listening. Follow us on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, wherever you can find us, and keep fapping on. Peace out, everybody.
Peace.
La deuce.